Really? Because I think yesterday you picked Liquid, didn't you? So it's the maps that changed your mind?
It's the maps. It's the maps that are changing my mind right now, and also just the shape. Like Nico, the hunger that is in his eyes right now. But not only Nico, Chris J, Dennis, they have a lot to prove right now. They need to make it in front of those fans because they let those fans down last year. So there's a lot on the line right now for Mousesports.
Well, look, I'll follow up on that reasoning in a bit, but we do have the pistol round already going live, and Dennis is quick in the middle. This is such a lot of pace. He will have been hurt by Simple, so he already knows, but look how isolated he is, trapped in between the two walls of Mousesports, and he's fighting his way out. Simple, what a madman. He's supposed to die from that. He is trapped in there, and instead, he just breaks it wide open with a double kill. And that's going to make it 5 versus 3 here. Speedy, Nico, and Next left, trying to see if they could find a way to get back in here, but that's just amazing.
That's just problematic, right? What are you going to do if you're Mousesports? Your whole plan hinged on crunching on the guy who was holding long on A and then wrapping over towards B. Well, now, unfortunately, you've lost 2 big pieces of the puzzle here, 2 big parts of your strategy. They're boosting Nico back up in the drop to go and pick up that bomb, but the Liquid defense, it's still solid like a rock everywhere on this map. 3 players on B, 2 on A, and well, minus Speedy. Nitro, 1 click, drop Speedy, and now it's all on Nico and Nex.
See if they could get even anything done right now. That is a good kill coming in from Nico. If they could get the bomb down, that in itself would be, I think, kind of a big victory for Mousesports right now. Clicking away in the background, Elige missing a couple of shots here, but they still have such a big advantage. Nico picking up 1 more kill, so now things are a little bit more questionable. And the one thing you don't want is to allow Nico to get someone back in this round. That would be truly horrific. And there is a good kill coming in from Nitro, and Next should be overrun here. He's also almost out of time. 15 seconds here for the 1v3 with 2 health. He's going to get 1 more kill in somehow. Still alive with 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. He's going to go for the shot here, but Nitro will take him out. That was so close. Mousesports, they did lose the round, but they didn't go easy.
No, but that was, I mean, that's such a dangerous game, right, that you're playing if you're looking, because what you're hoping for is really to just play the clock. Because you know that, okay, we've got them boxed in, there's 30 seconds left on this clock. Eventually, if we don't show ourselves, they're not going to get the kills, and they have to get that bomb down, and that's when we'll pounce. Only problem is they weren't counting on Nico coming to hunt for them and actually turning it into a fight. Glad to see that Nitro, though, he's still pumped up. He showed a great performance yesterday versus Virtus Pro. Liquid didn't beat Virtus Pro in the end on Cobble, but Nitro was hitting shots all map long, and he's going to be a key part of things here for Liquid going into this map versus Mousesports. I feel like he's one of the linchpins here for Liquid to really get the job done. Between him, Simple, and JDM, those are the 3 that I'm really watching.
No, I definitely agree. Bit of a pop flash going into drop, and that is a quick Tech9 kill. Nico versus Hiko.
You're a poet and you didn't know it?
Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, but I was going to say my logic for picking Mousesports in this mainly sort of was a result of the fact that they did put up a good fight yesterday, and Nico hardly didn't do anything. So, you know, if he shows up today, but that is kind of bad logic because that's been the problem all along for Mouse, and it seems like whenever Nico does show up, that just means everybody else doesn't, right? So it's not exactly great logic, but sometimes, you know, you are rewarded for having faith in a player, like when Markolov makes it to the Final 8.
Makes it to the Final 8 over NIP, the first time NIP are out of the top 8 at a major.
Some of us always believed that it could happen.
Get out of my face with that, dude. You would have never predicted Flipside to win.
No, but I'm saying Markolov. That's what I'm focusing on.
You didn't believe in the team, but you believed in the player.
That's what I'm saying. Nico going down, though, and Dennis, too, to follow up here. So Liquid stabilizing just fine after losing Eco there. Mousesports not really able to capitalize on that early kill at all, really. Speedy could have been a nice shot there, but not going to happen. So 2-0 for Liquid.
Yeah, very solid start here for Liquid. Then they survived the anti-eco perfectly. 4 players alive, plenty of SMG kills. That's going to bolster the economy, and that's all part of the game plan here for Liquid. It's basically once you get over that big hump of the pistol round, you just get those feel-good rounds behind it, and then you plan on basically just shutting down Mousesports in that 4th round bye. So Mousesports now, they're just managing their economy fine. Chris J, I like to see that he's prioritizing the AWP. He doesn't have any kills yet, but he will have that op regardless. Maybe if he could find a kill here, that would be pretty nice. Just an extra $300 in his pocket so that he can maybe pick up a smoke grenade or get the Kevlar with the helmet. But we'll see. I mean, this is way too early to tell, obviously. You know, it's like, oh, Mousesports are out of it. No, it's just a tough start for Mousesports. But they showed us yesterday that they've got some fight in them, and so definitely not counting them out yet.
Yeah, what we always talk about with this map, and what Duncan was, I think, making a good point of yesterday, is that it's not until you see the T side of a team on this map that you really know what's going on. So the fact that Liquid are off to a good start on the CT side is also a little bit more scary for Mousesports, but you're right, no point in guessing too soon here. They do have one smoke on Speedy, and he's pretty far back. He's actually just put it out, so we'll see where that ends up landing. It's going to be right in front of Nitro. Good return kill coming in from Dennis, and actually a nice follow-up there. No idea how Chris got that shot on Simple. Bomb will be going down here, so just a big win overall for Mousesports. 2 kills at a bomb plant.
Yeah, perfect. A little bit scary. One thing to note is that it seems like Elysia and Nitro have traded places. Elysia's back over towards that B site. Nitro's now the one working with Simple over on the A site. Just so, you know, there may be some adjustments being made here from Liquid, so that they might be just a little bit less predictable. We'll see. But as far as the round is concerned, Mousesports, that's a huge win. Chris gets his kill, bonus 300. Then on top of the 800, you can see the money right there for Chris. So much now to work with. He can go to that AWP, and he can get the Kevlar, and even some nades behind it. So this is fantastic for him. Mousesports have all of the tools necessary now. So this is where you start, you know, between Nico and Kassad, this is where they lock down and start getting that first buy round plan that they had even before the map started, right? Now, okay, go to the playbook, and what are you going to do? Because you have everything necessary to execute whatever is in that playbook.
Going to be interesting to see Chris versus JDM as an AWP battle that could potentially happen. JDM, again, and we talked about this last time they were playing on Cobblestone, they've got Elise playing close and JDM playing by Chicken Coop for the first couple of seconds. When there's no rush, she starts moving up. So I think maybe the logic is literally just that they don't want the AWP close to the rush if it happens, and when it doesn't, then they're sort of ready to go and get a bit closer. I did promise I'd try and talk to them about it, but I think I ultimately just forgot. But I'll try and do it anyway. Molotov goes into Dennis, and wow! Did he not have a smoke, and did no one have a smoke to help him out then?
I think it was a bit late. I think he was late on putting the smoke down. Might have got canceled. He just got caught.
What, he had other priorities apart from putting out the fire that were more important? My shoes are also undone. I will do that first, and then get to the smoke.
But wait, the bows, they're not the exact same size. I must correct this.
That looked, well, I can think of lots of different ways to describe that I can't say on stream. That was
unforced
horrific.
error. An unforced error. I think that's the main thing right there, you know, because like naturally you would either drop the smoke immediately, or you would try and jump out. Elise was covering the jump out option, so just tough start for Mousesports. They've only lost one of the parts of the puzzle here though, so they can still try and get this push going. Speedy, he'll draw them attention over to that A site by picking off Nitro. That's a good start, but now they actually need to get this push going here for Mousesports on that B site.
Yeah, and they're doing a really good job right now, actually. They can definitely sandwich in, especially as Elite just doesn't get the kill, and JDM is just out in the open. He's got a very bad position right now. Hiko coming in with 2 massive kills, though, and that helps out so much. JDM even makes it back around the corner here, and Chris is going to be going down. God, that was a massive double kill for Hiko. We didn't really see it from this position, but JDM was in a terrible spot where he was. He was pretty much 100% dead at that point in time, so big win coming from Liquid here. And Speedy, just, again, many jokes that we can't say on.
I know, it's a bit early to give Thorn material for the desk later on.
It definitely is. You're right. I have no idea what, this double kill for Hiko is so big. I still have no idea what happened to Dennis.
That's all on feel from Hiko as well. I mean, he's basically saying, okay, they're going to fully commit everybody to coming out of drop towards the bomb site, because he was the man watching Connector to make sure there couldn't be a flank coming in from Connector, basically. So it's just on Hiko. He's like, right, we lost the one guy. I have to rotate over. I'm going to take the risk of getting shot in the back, and it just makes all the difference. But Mousesports, to me right now, whatever's going through their heads, they need to just like start calming down a little bit, because to me it's looking a little disjointed. It's looking a little shaky here at the beginning. Dennis getting roasted, giving himself up for free in that corner. The push feeling just a little clunky. It's not feeling real smooth here for Mousesports. So whatever's going on in their heads, they need to figure it out quick.
Oh, good setup there with Nitro covering Simple, and Simple being up in that little fortress in the corner, and somehow that's become popular again. Simple now going to be jumping down with the AK. All right. He has a special playstyle. Many people would have probably tried to just defend from up there, but I mean, he did get a couple of kills for it ultimately.
That's like some Matrix DBZ stuff right there, man. You know, it just comes jumping out. You know, it's like that scene where it, boom, crashes into the ground cracks everywhere, and beneath him is his foe. He did take someone with him, so it works out in the end. JDM gonna miss that shot on next, though. That's not very good. seeing as how that brings it back to a 2-on-2 situation. 40 seconds left on this clock as well, but Hiko lurking behind the van. He's going to pick up 1 kill on Dennis, and they know where Nex is playing from as well. So Liquid, between the two of them, they should be able to get Nex into a crossfire, and it should get a little nasty here for him.
Almost definitely. Nex. Be hard to find your way out, especially because he has to go back and pick up the bomb where Elige is. So either way, he's just in a lot of trouble. That's a great headshot, though. Nex going for more. That could have been a quad kill, but Hiko will shut him down. Actually, a brilliant round coming out of Nex. The problem is, right now, they do need the clutches. Liquid are up to 5 rounds. Without the bomb plant here, I mean, they can still buy, and I'd be shocked if they can't buy, but this is a little bit scary.
They've had 2 clutches so far in 5 rounds, Liquid. So it's not looking real clean cut for Liquid either. I mean, one of them was in the pistol round, but still, I mean, you gotta. That's actually something that Mousesports want. You know, the chaos. That's where the underdog can kind of battle and show some grit and come out ahead, right? If Liquid are winning the clutches, though, it's gonna look real grim here for Mousesports.
We'll see how it all unfolds right now. Plenty of money for Liquid to work with, and Hiko in drop with Elige and JDM again playing very far back. They really don't want to get overrun by anything over that plateau. That seems to be one of their main concerns over at the B-bomb side.
Well, when you're talking about a team, they may not feel comfortable on Cobble. One of the go-to strategies that you'll have is to just rush plateau, rush B site. If you're on Tech 9's armor, you're on a half buy or something along those lines, you can just go for the straight-up YOLO rush, and it can be really effective, right? So Liquid, with the economic advantage that they have right now, throw the nades. It's more worth it to throw the incendiary than to die with the incendiary on you and then be thinking, well, I could have thrown that incendiary, right? So long as you have the nades, make use of them. Oh, JDM, he might get a shot here in a second. The flash is effective and he doesn't get the timing right. Dennis has now got the angle on him. If JDM goes for that peek, he might catch Dennis out.
Well, more grenades raining in, and Chris is up there, and it actually looked like JDM was ready to look at that angle, but not quite quick enough, and now there's a big opening here for Mousesports. Hiko flashed, and he's going to be going down. Elige in the back line. He only gets the 1 kill in Nitro there to trade it, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough here. 30 seconds as somehow the bomb is pushed up. Dennis letting go of that, and that's a really critical position. Look, Nitro, he could just take out anyone who tries to get around this corner to pick it up. Not Chris, though. He's going to get the 1 kill, and then he goes down, and now it's a 1-on-2. Speedy sneaking in on the other side with the AWP. If he misses the shot, he's got the Deagle instead, and there might be a superior choice here. Nitro going to be going down, and Speedy coming up with a very important kill there at the end. He hasn't got many. In fact, he doubled his amount of kills in that round. Yeah, Mousesports finally on the board.
This is just a brawl, Anders. I mean, that B site, it feeds itself into chaos. It's just, there's action all over the place. I'm really surprised that Nitro and Simple were able to lock it down that effectively, though, between the two of them. Nitro played it so smart. He trusted in Simple to get the shot over his shoulder, to draw the attention to himself. That set it up. But at the end, it's Mousesports coming through with one of those key clutch rounds that we were talking about, right? It's crazy how many clutches we've had so far, just very close one-on-one scenarios that we've had so far. At the very beginning of this half, Liquid need to be a little bit more solid than this on their own map, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it does worry me that Dennis was trying to take that fight with the bomb. You know, we've seen that's sort of a second mistake, I would say, right? Like trying to take the bomb that way. The first one trying to tie his shoes in the fire before putting it out. There are just many things like that you've got to be careful of, you know? You can easily throw away around just by having the bomb drop in the wrong place.
There's a pattern developing here, though, for Mousesports, and I'm curious to see if Liquid, if Peacemaker is going to be able to pick up on it. It's the fact that Mousesports are alternating right now. They're going A, B, A, B, A, B, and like that if you're a bit too repetitive with that, it will get picked up on, and Liquid can try and take advantage of it. Right now, they're still going for a default hold, Liquid. They have the 2 players over on A, and that's probably why. You know, they're thinking, well, you're not just hitting B, so we're going to keep having 2 over here on A, and we'll eventually make you pay for it. Simple's going to find the shot on Speedy. That was a free one. That was nice and clean, and the rotation is coming out now from Nico. He just has to worry about Nico hitting the correct timing and connector. This is nasty. Nico can now cut off 2 of the rotators towards this A site.
Yeah, really great rotation coming up. We'll see if it's going to make a difference that Nico's in here. He's just on the ledge. He will spot out Hiko, so that is a very important kill. Now, Nitro's playing closer to the max 7. If they try and peek him, he could definitely get a quick kill on someone. This is the perfect angle for it, and Nex immediately down. Nico will pick up a second kill, though, and a third one coming in. This is exactly the kind of Nico that they need. He wasn't there yesterday, but it looks like maybe today it is a bit of a different story. It's now a 2-on-2 with the bomb down, and Dennis and Chris have to try and see if they can hold on. They can't give up this round. Liquid will be almost more than halfway to winning the map, I think, if they win this round. JDM trying to get up on the truck, going to be downed by Chris. And this is very tough for Nitro already. Was that a wallbang?
That was a wallbang.
Oh my God, Chris, what are you doing? Well, taking down Nitro to end the round, that's going to make it 5-2. What a ridiculous shot to try and take.
With that CT, I mean, that's just Nico, though. That's the power of Nico. He's so intelligent. And this is one thing that's always blown Thorn's mind, right, is that Nico plays with incredibly low mouse sense. Like, his sense, it takes him like 3 swipes to do a 180, right? If you're going to play with such low mouse sense, it means that your read of the game, your understanding of where people are going to be at what time, your understanding of the timings, it's got to be impeccable. It's got to be on point. You're not allowed to make a mistake, because if somebody gets you in the back, you're a dead man. You're not going to be able to turn around fast enough. That's just a window into Nico's mind right there. The fact that he can just infiltrate completely Liquid's defense and shatter it, just get all of the kills at the right time and not get caught out in the open. That's what makes Nico such an incredible player to watch. He's just so on point when it comes to the mind games.
Well, they finally broken Liquid's economy, so that is a great start here for Mousesports to get back into the game. And I mean, if they can make this 10-5, which is not at all impossible, maybe we could have an interesting game still on our hands. I will say, they still have a pretty long way to go. And Nico being pretty good at just keeping people occupied here by drop, but it seems like actually all of Mousesports are starting to rotate on in. That's now a lot of people he's seen already here in drop. Maybe he should start to have a feeling that there is a bit of a stack going on.
Seems like that is not going to be what they're worried about, though. I mean, look at that. Elige, he gets an opportunity to pick up a kill at least, but it's a perfect anti-eco in the end for Mousesports. All 5 players surviving. Nico getting 2 kills with the UMP, which is just, you know, gravy on top, just more money in his pocket. And Mousesports, they're starting to get their legs beneath them. It's a question now whether Liquid want to go for the buy. They're dancing right on the edge. Nitro has enough for an AWP, but JDM does not. He's $100 short. It's almost to the point where it would just be like, actually just go for a half buy so you have all of the money for the next round, but it doesn't look like it. Liquid, they're going to go for this buy. 5 rifles, limited on the nades, only 2 of them really having a lot to work with, and only a single kit picked up on Simple. This isn't ideal for Liquid. On that CT side, you know, you pointed it out, right? They're throwing a lot of anti-rush nades. You rely heavily on your nades to do a lot of the work for you on CT side on Cobble, because there's a lot of choke points if you've got the HEs and the incendiaries. Problem is, those incendiaries, they're more expensive than your average nade. You need to have the economy for them.
Very slow approach coming in from Mousesports in this particular round. Simple and Nitro with a bit of a duel setup over there again. They've done it before. And seems like they're just going to be moving back. So they're functioning as sort of a little unit on that side of the map. I'm starting to worry about Elige and how he's doing in this game so far. I feel like he's maybe being impacted a bit by the sort of the fear of playing at this level, because I know he can play much better than this, but it feels like he's maybe a little bit nervous. So we'll see if that's going to be a factor later on. He's just waiting, and Nico's on the other side waiting with a UMP. So it seems like an unfair fight here. M4 versus UMP.
Yeah, but then Nico's got the UMP, yo. So
yeah,
with his aim, that UMP does the most damage out of any of the SMGs to armor. It can be real nasty. And there's the pop flash in. They're going to go for the drop. Nico not going to be able to readjust in time. Speedy going to stomp him into the ground. And now we set up for a perfect A split. Now Nico gets to go up on the balcony. Simple and Nitro, you can see they're flipping out right now. They know that they've lost control of drop, but Nitro holds the line, takes down Dennison next, and Elise is there to take out Speedy. Into a 2-on-3 now with Nico and Chris pushing onto the A site.
Massive hold from Nitro coming out, and almost a great spray there, but not quite. Nico somehow coming out on top with the UMP. 10 seconds, and the bomb will be going down. Elige is going to be coming in from the balcony, and JDM, and this is the big factor. I don't think they have any way of knowing that he's going to be coming in from this angle. This is a big unknown. Chris is up there and already getting shot at, but JDM maybe a bit too soon, and that's going to reveal his position. Elige going down, and JDM out in the open, fighting from every angle, and he's going to be taken out. Mousesports winning a 3rd round. Oh my, I think that could have worked better. I mean, this is all hindsight, but maybe if he had waited a bit, JDM.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to talk about JDM too, right? Maybe in hindsight, he'd realized he's so used to the AWP and one bullet does the trick, right? He forgot that he didn't have an op, right? He tried to shoot with the FAMAS, and he's, wait, why is the guy not dead? What's going on here? What's happening, Anders? Or team, I guess, if JDM is, you know, thinking that. Or maybe he just thinks of himself in the 3rd person. Maybe he's just like JDM, thinks that this is a frustrating situation to find JDM self in. I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely awkward. He had a bit of an opportunity there to just shut Chris out.
I think that's a sign of sort of megalomania, isn't it? If you talk about yourself in the third person. I'm surprised that Thorin doesn't talk about himself in the third person. that hasn't happened yet is actually interesting. From a sort of psychology point of view, at least. We do have 2 Deagles, 2 P250s, and a C75 on Nitro, and Liquid's economy kind of where you expect it to be on CT side cobblestones. I mean, I'm not really that worried, but I am glad that Mousesports are starting to sort of come back into the game. Even if some of these rounds are a bit close, it has been 4 in a row for them, and it's Nico and Chris J on top of the scoreboard for them, which is exactly what you'd want to see.
Absolutely. Although you would like to see Speedy and S a little bit higher, still, Chris, like, so long as it's not just Nico alone at the top, so long as Chris is there getting the shots in, that's so important for Mousesports because he's a key part of it. He's the main opera for the team, but it's more important that he's just be one of the co-stars of the team, right? And so Mousesports right now definitely looking solid, much more solid than I thought. You know, coming into Cobble right now, I was definitely thinking that Liquid, with that start that they had, that they would just kind of crush Mousesports out of this first map, and then we'd start, you know, really seeing some action from Mousesports going into the second one. But Mousesports have clearly put a little bit of work into Cobble. They're definitely looking good.
Well, now, 25 seconds, and going to be tough for Mousesports. Even though they have all the rifles here, I mean, when you leave this little time, you do always risk the idea that someone could be hiding in the in the wrong spot at the right time. And that might be a bit of an issue, but not this time. It seems Hiko could have been one of those people to sort of walk out and drop the bomb, and then suddenly everyone is focused on something else. They are in the bomb site with 10 seconds left, so again, you can easily imagine a scenario in which you have to spend 10 seconds picking up the bomb and fighting someone with a pistol, so maybe a little bit too cautious, but ultimately it works out just fine here. So it's going to tie up the scoreline at 5-5, and we're going to be moving into the 11th round and seeing if Liquid could put anything else on the board here. They will obviously have the money. Again, the round loss bonus caps out at 3,400, so that's pretty much how it works after a 5-round loss streak. So that's what we're heading into now. Liquid are going to feel the full effect of that.
I was about to say, you know, man, Mousesports, their anti-ecos right now, that would be like the second anti-eco that they just crush. They keep all 5 players alive, and then Chris had to go and die on me. So good job, Chris. You know, just ruining that a little bit. Still, it's not the end of the world here. Mousesports, they pick up that 5th round. They've tied it up 5-5. And now we see Liquid starting to change things up. Now we see that double AWP come out. They were using it just the other day as well. And it's on Simple and JDM. You have 2 top-tier operas here that can go to work. So I'm glad that they're finally going to try and make this strategy happen. Simple, boosting up Nitro as well. I mean, they're really pulling out all the stops at this point, Liquid. They're like, right, if you're going to start going towards that A site more often now, we're really going to set a little bit of a trap over here for you, Mousesports. But Mousesports, they're still thinking, didn't you get the memo? We don't go, you know, to the same site twice, apart from the last round, obviously. Now we're going to go towards B.
Yeah, but then on that side of the map, we've got JDM and Elige. And I feel like we haven't seen this combo work quite well enough. It's such a good idea in principle. You know, JDM takes a shot, then Elige is playing close. So if they try and rush JDM down, then that's going to maybe come to an end. But not really happening just yet. And again, Speedy and Chris, you could see them on the other side of the map, making sure that no one's sneaking up behind. So Mousesports seem content with just sort of waiting around for a long time. I wonder, is Nico boosted up to look into drop? No, or maybe they just were. I'm not sure. They could have been maybe trying to go for a bit of a boost, I think, to see if they could look into drop from an odd angle. And Elige is down there, though. Molotov in, but he could have get the kill instead. Flashbang to follow it up, and a good return kill from Nex. And now it seems like they want to see if they can move a little bit closer here. Fantastic flashbang, except he also got flashed and Nitro there up on the wall. It's such an uncommon position that players forget to check it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's one of those positions where it'll come into style and players will check it, and then it goes out for a couple weeks, you stop seeing it, and then all of a sudden it's effective again. And this time it proves to work. We still do have both players here for Mousesports alive going towards that A site, but unfortunately for them, as they try and cross in front of Connector, they just take a lot of spray from Elige, a lot of damage, and Nitro still at the back of the site. Instant headshot onto Chris, and no bomb plant possible for Dennis. He gets shut down by Simple. So Liquid at the end, it actually works on all fronts. That was some crazy nade trading going on in drop, though. Those flashes, just flashes back and forth. That's all. It almost just turns into a luck of the draw sort of scenario, though, where whose vision is going to come back quickly enough, right, to get the kill. And it just happens that Elige is the one who was able to spot Nex first in that scenario. But maybe it was just like a split-second difference, and Nex is getting that kill on Elige. And we're looking at a totally different round here. So little bit awkward there for Mousesports.
It's really tricky in drop as well, because if you throw your flash to flash someone who's already dropped down, if he has a teammate backing you up from the top of drop, he hasn't fallen down yet, then you might not actually be flashing anybody. Yeah, see, there's the boost that I was talking about, just try and see if they can spot anyone boosting on the other side. So makes for an odd angle. JDM coming in with a big kill here, and again, Liquid fighting back in style. And the big thing here is that Mousesports economy, if they lose around, I think they probably just continue to buy, but it's close now, you know. They are running out of money slowly. Dennis picking up a good kill, and JDM, I'm not sure what those reactions were, but fast certainly isn't the word you could use for them.
Yeah, you can't quite wallbang through those boxes, or can you, Anders?
No, well, not.
They're double stacked, so
yeah, not there, no.
It's not going to work. So unfortunately,
there are other wall bangs possible up there, though.
Yeah, the one into drop. That's always one that you like to talk about. We don't really get to see it that often, though.
Never
Who was it that actually used it?
Guardian, I think, tried once and
yeah, it was Guardian,
gave up on it.
That wasn't long ago. Oh, Nico not going to get the best smoke, but still. He's going to be the one controlling drop, and now we're going back to the basics for Mousesports. This is usually how they like to set up. They'll leave Nico off to the side, lurking. He'll be the one holding the rotate. He'll be the one playing that cerebral position where he's trying to infiltrate the defense and catch a rotator out, and then the rest of his teammates are grouped up on the other side of the map. And so Mousesports now, that core killing unit, the three of them that are still alive, moving towards A. Unfortunately, Simple, he just barely finds the angle to take out Speedy, and that leaves 3 players alive left for Mousesports versus the 4 for Liquid.
Ooh, this is a tough round for the Mousesports team. Simple didn't even need to react. Nitro was there to help him out, taking out Dennis. And now it's on Nico and Nex with 8 seconds left. It doesn't seem possible. In fact, I doubt that it is. If if Nitro comes out here, then the round is going to be over. 2 seconds, 1 second, and they have to just simply stop it. I think they might have realized what was going on anyway. So JDM survives the round, and that's going to be a 7th round for Liquid. No bomb plant either for Mousesports. They do have money to buy, but it is starting to get really scary here.
Yeah, Mouse, the one thing that we're seeing here is some indecisiveness, and that's costing them. They're running that clock down really low. It's almost becoming just a habit for them to start making the push happen with like 25 seconds left. And we saw what can happen right there, right? If you're not giving yourself enough time to react to the situation, you're going to get caught trying to put that bomb down, and you're going to get punished every time. So there were artists, you know, once upon a time, there were artists who were able to do that. Na'Vi, that made it their core game plan. Mousesports right now, not quite able to do it. But this is how you can change things up. Finally, straight YOLO B, off of Plateau, onto that B site. Now we have to see if Liquid can hold.
Well, they're all stuck on the side of the box and take... Oh, and there's the shot coming through. JDM taking 2 in a row and then a 3rd. It's going to be Speedy going down last. What a great round. That's... If you're an AWP player, that's the dream scenario, isn't it? They did just line up for him there. So there's a lot of reasons, that being one of them why you don't want to stack up like that. The other one being grenades, obviously. My God.
It's like they forgot to have a smoke down to block off the bomb site itself between the post and the tree. You want to get that smoke down so you have some room to maneuver with, but they just weren't able to do it. They all stacked up. Good anti-flashes coming in from Liquid as well. That is what usually is the cause for people stacking up like that on the T side when they're trying to push onto a side, is that they're just constantly white. And so they're just, you know, petrified. They can't quite move because they're constantly blind. So if Liquid makes some good use of their nades, things can get a little hairy. Nico going to be able to rush down Hiko and drop. JDM not able to get in position in time for the trade, but there is still Simple alive in connector, and he's going to be able to just shut down Nico with the help of Nitro. And while things not looking too good here for Mousesports.
I like this interesting alliance between Nitro and Simple. They seem to be a really good pairing, and you know, Simple's getting some really good kills in, but it seems like Nitro is just always in the right place to help him out. So I don't know, maybe a bit unlikely to have, you know, an American player teaming up with a Ukrainian player to sort of be a little duo within the team, but I kind of like it. Nitro now a bit on his own, and Speedy with an ungodly shot coming through, jumping with the Tech 9 and taking down Nitro. It's going to be 2-on-2 here, as Speedy does take down Simple. So now, see if Elige and JDM, do they want to fight it? It's the 14th round, so 2-on-2 they probably do. Elige going to be walking in, but a great counter boost coming out, and now JDM, I don't think he has the health to try and fight this. It's just too much in a 1-on-2 with the AWP. But he's going to try anyway, it seems. I'm
pretty sure JDM just heard the drop as well, so he knows that they're both somewhere on the bomb site. If he can spot Chris, not going to happen. Goes for the quick scope. It doesn't land the shot. It's Chris instead to get the headshot with the P250, and that is Mousesports with a huge win. that eco win is going to make all of the difference.
And just to point out, they don't have enough to rebuy the AWP or the M4 that he just lost. So that's why I was wondering, oh, they could just buy it. Oh, right. So JDM, the only one who could do it. But again, if they had saved, then they would have actually had a full buy. So that was sort of the difference. And because they already have 8 rounds, I sort of feel like that's already way more than enough. So why not just try and get a 9th in? Now it could be tricky with the Max 7 and the 5.7 here. So yeah, it's always hard to judge. But I'm wondering if that was worth it.
Are they gonna try it? No, it's not the AWP over there. It's the rifle. So it's Simple and Nitro again working as that duo over here on A side, putting up a little bit of a fight at long. They haven't really done this too much since the beginning of the half, so it's a good time to throw it in there just to see if they could catch Mousesports off guard. Then you have the potential rotation coming out from Hiko. He's still waiting over in drop, but right now Liquid are trusting in their A players to just lock things down over here in case Mousesports try and put on some early pressure. They just want to make sure that they don't lose drop control, because then that gives the map over to Nico, and well, horrible things happen to Nico's opponents when he has room to work with. So for now, it's getting to that minute mark, and we'll see where Liquid decide to rotate that extra man over. Are they going to try and make their way over to A? A lot of it is going to come down to what Nitro can find out over here with the help of Simple.
Looks like they might be trying to go for a bit of a push here. Nitro close with the Max 7. On the other side is Chris J, so it's Sniper versus Shotgun close range. Chris jumping in, but he's going to go down anyway. So now 2-on-3 here. Speedy and Nex are left, and they need this round. Mousesports, they need it desperately. Nex is playing close while Speedy's trying to sneak in on the other side with the bomb. He's got to be quick before Hiko gets in position. That's a big problem.
When you have Elige already flanking into underpass as well from behind, so he's the security here for Liquid. Liquid, they don't need to do anything crazy. Hiko and JDM can just hold the angles because they're counting on the long con. They're counting on Elige working his way into position. Again, Mousesports are going to have no idea that their back is exposed. Speedy can try and plant the bomb open. He's actually going to go for it. Nope. It's back to default, and this is perfect for Elige. Elige couldn't be in a better spot. If he really wanted to go for it, yep, he's just going to eviscerate the defense, even going for the wall bang shot. Hiko and Elige working well together there, but that was so well played by Liquid. That's communication and awareness right there. That's knowing you have this ace in the hole, just play it around Elige and let him do his work, let him do his thing, and then you've got Hiko and JDM to lock it down after that. Beautiful work there on the last round of the first half from Liquid.
Very, very interesting here. 9-6 finish in favor of Team Liquid, and Mousesports have got to be really worried. I mean, I think they knew that Cobblestone was going to be a tough game for them anyway, but this is a strong start for the American side, and I don't know quite how they're going to get back into it.
Yeah, for Mousesports, the struggle is going to be real, that's for sure. So,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here it's Simple taking out a couple of members of Mousesports, and overall the scoreline was 9-6 in the first half in favor of Team Liquid. It's only the first map in a best of 3, but still a very impressive performance overall from Team Liquid. And Mousesports, they're really far behind. They will obviously need to win the pistol round, but beyond that, they still have a long way to go. I think Liquid are feeling pumped up right now.
I think they're looking calm, cool, collected, confident. Nitro has even got like a little half grin every now that keeps coming up, and that's good to see because, like I said at the beginning of the half, he is one of your key guys that you need to be doing work for you, and he certainly has delivered so far this first half. 21 kills, 2 assists for 11 deaths. I mean, that is perfect. You can't ask more of somebody in a first half. That's a sick performance from Nitro, and so that's making all the difference right now versus Nico, who's leading the way for Mousesports, but only with 15 kills. So now it's all about Nico, you know, getting that lockdown going here with Mousesports. They're perfectly capable of it. They have the tools necessary. Chris with the AWP. If Nex and Speedy, you know, can start waking up, things can start looking up for Mousesports. But right now, I'm just thinking that Liquid looks so good after that first half. It's hard to see how Mousesports are going to get back into this.
Yes, especially because now that they're playing the defensive side of the map, Nico is going to be... I mean, he's not going to be completely static, but it will be much easier for Liquid to try and ignore him and go somewhere else once they find out where he is, roughly. So that's going to be, I think, a bit of a challenge. It looks like Mousesports have had an idea already about what Liquid might try and do, because they have 3 people over at A long and only 2 in B. And from the looks of things, they're dead wrong. And that's going to be a big problem right about now. Nex already being tanked up. He's going to go down to Elige, and Speedy in the back lines. They need him to hit some stunning headshots, or they're going to be out of the round before it even begins here. Taking a fight with JDM already. Simple, a bit on edge, but they still haven't found Speedy. He's somehow staying alive now. The knife is out. Not going to connect, though. It will be Dennis to take out the kill. Elige coming back in with 1 strong one. Nitro also getting 1 on Chris, which will leave Nico and Dennis in a 2-on-3 retake.
What is this chaos? Now, only just now the bomb gets planted after all of that. Hiko waving his knife all over the place. Decides to go back to the pistol. Now he's got that USP, which is interesting because he was rocking the Tech 9 before that. So he really just wants those clean headshots, and we'll see if he can deliver. Team Liquid right now playing this very well, not really peeking. It's forcing Dennis out into the open where Hiko's going to be able to pick up the headshot on him, and now it's all on Nico. 1v3 clutch. He's going to start off strong with one headshot, but it's still JDM and Elish set up in a crossfire scenario, so he needs to try and force a duel here, but he's running out of time. He just doesn't have enough to get these kills, find a kit, and get the defuse. Nico, it is over. Liquid, they're going to pick up both pistol rounds here on Cobblestone.
Big win and a big roar coming out of Liquid. Again, they're on a separate floor from us, but we could definitely hear that all the way up here. Now, that round is a great illustration because I think if they go and fight Nico, there's about a 50% chance he probably wins that, even 1v2. But when they don't, it shows you why those rounds can almost only be won if the other team makes a mistake. And Liquid just decide, no, we're not going to do that. So pretty solid stuff coming out.
That's like fundamental CS, right?
Yeah.
And it's excellent to see. That a team under pressure like that, North American team, bit of a mixed team, a lot of roster changes, all that sort of stuff, a little bit chaotic, right? That they're able to show some great fundamental CS.
I like how you point that out. They overcame the fact that they were North American and still played good Counter-Strike.
I was dancing around it, trying to find a way, but there's like no way to say it without it obviously just being right. You know, it's a North American team, and look at that, they can play CS, guys.
That's why it's a meme. That's why it's a meme, you know. Speedy has got the taser, which is interesting. I'm a big fan of it personally, but he's already down. It does seem to be the case that whenever you buy this thing, you just never get to use it ever. And in fact, if you try it, things tend to end up worse, which I think is part of the fun of it anyway. Dennis is hiding in the corner, and I don't think he'll be making it out alive. Liquid, I think, might have actually just try to rethink the situation there and maybe trying to fall back a little bit. Yeah,
because Nitro's worked his way all the way through A side into connector. So now Nitro's just like, well, by the way, guys, there's this bomb site. You know, there's 2 bomb sites on a map, right? Well, nobody's on the other one, so we've got a minute left. Let's go ahead and rotate that bomb over to that free bomb site, get that bomb plant for free, and then allow me to be in that lurk position and pick up some free kills. Sounds like a good deal? Right, perfect. Liquid are doing it. Nitro will get shut down by Nex in the end, so he was a little greedy. Tut-tut. But he still got 2 kills with the UMP, so a little bit of extra money in his pocket. Ooh, I like the thought.
Yeah, you can see a world in which that can happen, but with his health and everything, I don't know if it would really make a difference ultimately. JDM coming in with a couple of good kills there, making it a triple overall for him, and that's now Liquid 5 rounds away from winning the first map here.
Yeah, and a fantastic start so far in this best of 3 on this map as well. They came out way ahead in the first half with a 9-6 scoreline, and then they proceed to pick up the second round pistol as well. So Liquid right now, they're really showing just, you know, dominant form on this map. And Mousesports, you're not really going to see too much from them here because, again, they have to go on to pistols. Lost the pistol round, didn't get anything going for them in the second. Once again, though, Chris J is managing his money so that he can pick up that op. So I do like to see that. You know, because really, primary opper, you need to make sure that you're going to be able to afford to get the sniper rifle as quickly as possible. And Mousesports, they're willing to go a little bit aggressive here. Nico, he only has the USP, but he's going to take point, and all 5 of them ready to just drop. Nitro, though, this is a setup that we saw from Liquid yesterday, but it's not going to work. Chris J's got an instant headshot Nitro, and now they have 2 guns to work with here at Mousesports.
I feel like the better choice for Elish there was to turn around and hope they just didn't spot him. That was a horrifying experience, I bet. Now, the problem is, they're still not going to win the round because they're in a 3v5 and they're so far away from the bomb site that by the time they get here without the kit, it's not even going to matter.
Sorry, I was holding on mute. I like that, though, because that's showing that Mousesports have also done their homework on Liquid. Because, like I said, if I can spot it, you can be sure that Nico and Kassad definitely spot it. You know, like that was one of the go-to kind of setups that Liquid were using. Their default setup against Virtus Pro yesterday on Cobblestone. You can be sure that Mousesports, they'll make the adjustment because you don't just, you know, double dink someone immediately coming around a corner unless you know that person is sitting right there at that spot. So Mousesports just putting Liquid on notice, saying, hey, you're going to have to make some adjustments, otherwise we're going to punish you.
But regardless, it's an acceptable round for Mousesports. You know, they get 2 kills and they save 2 of the AKs, so pretty good job on them. They will, I'm wondering if they will try and force it up. Well, I say force it up, they will be buying into this round here. Chris with the AWP. And just the grenades on top here. 2 Molotovs on the 2 AK players, so you're already seeing a little bit in return. And Speedy, in spite of, you know, maybe could have picked something else, but gonna go for the Mag 7, which is a reliable weapon on this map. I don't mind it.
It's an option. You can go for it. Drop down room, very effective. Right below plateau, very effective. Over an A long. I mean, there's a lot of like close quarters areas that you can really put that shotgun to good use. You can also try and shred someone with an HE, and that works pretty well. And then follow it up with a barbecue. JDM doesn't want any of this. He's out. He's stuck in that room, man. There's just shrapnel and flames all over the place.
Chris all the way by Chicken Coop, and they're leaving Nico alone on the other side of the map. So we'll see how that works out. He is capable of handling his own, but still, it is one of those tricky positions to try and play.
Just curious to see now as Hiko is going to be setting it up. Now he wants to try and go into that battle that always seems to happen here on Cobble. The battle for drop. And this time again, it's going to be Hiko, but Speedy's got that shotgun, so he's just waiting for Hiko to overextend. Mousesports haven't gone far enough yet where they're going to start doubling up on drop. They need to see a little bit more. Unfortunately, they don't really have time to figure out Liquid's offense here, so seems like right now you just kind of count on Speedy and Dennis to control this part of the map and go for a bit of a gamble. They've got 4 players pretty late into the round. 4 players on the B side right now for Mousesports. This is a straight gamble from them. If Liquid don't go to B, it's going to get nasty.
Well, JDM goes down. That's Nico sneaking in from behind. That was so impressive there. And Simple going to go down to the max 7. So a 2-for-0 trade favoring Mousesports. And Nico is still holding over on middle on the other side. And he's about to walk into 2 players. They did put up the Molotov there. And now going to go peek. Almost perfect timing, but around the corner. Both Hiko and Elige going to be walking through. Nitro goes down, though. And this is still a great round coming out of Mousesports. I don't see this 2v4 working out for Liquid.
Yeah, a little disappointed there in Nitro as well to go for peek the battle. It's not really going to pan out here for Liquid, though, as they try and push onto the site. Just not enough time to get the bomb plant. So Elige, thankfully for him, Nex actually kills him before the time runs out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got any money at the round. But that's also just Liquid actually kind of getting bopped on the nose. The fact that Nico, again, with that game sense, he knows the perfect time to just push in, to infiltrate behind him. He's like, right, I'm not seeing anybody over here on A. They rotate the extra man over to B for Mousesports, and then Nico just kind of hems Liquid in.
Yeah, there was something else weird about that setup, though, from Mousesports. Apart from that, it was a bit odd to see Speedy playing in drop, but then Dennis sort of playing behind him in middle.
Yeah, and connector.
Yeah, because what is Dennis doing at that point in time? He's obviously not helping out Speedy. If they try and control drop, then they might as well both be there at the same time. So, we'll see how that works out later on. I think there was some miscommunication there between what the positions were supposed to be. Liquid still have money, though, even losing that round, but they are at the end of it. Nitro taking on Nico, and that's a good start.
Oh, I didn't hear before, but was Simple shooting with the Glock? Or, because he shot with the Glock backing off, but was he shooting with the AK before? Was Simple trying to go for some weird mind game where he was trying to make them think we were ecoing or something?
That is a real thing. People do that every once in a while.
Right? They will shoot with the P250 or they will shoot with the Glock just to make you think, hey, you haven't seen anything from us yet. We haven't thrown any nades or anything, so you may just think that we're ecoing, and then maybe Nitro goes over aggressive and gets punished. That would be ridiculous. I might be reading too much into it, but that would be so sick if it was true. All right, we'll see how things pan out, though, because it is about to get a little hairy here for Speedy. He's alone on the A site, and while he doesn't have to worry about it any longer, Nitro snuffs him, and it's a 2-man advantage now for Liquid, moving on to the A site for the plant.
Dennis going down as well, and Next that's going to kill back, but it's not going to help all that much. Chris never even got close to the bomb site, just has to wait with the AWP on the other side of the map. And look at how quick Hiko's already out looking for him, and obviously when it's Chris left on the scoreboard, you pretty much know what weapon he's going to be running around with, so they're doing their best to find him.
Yeah, I don't think that Liquid would complain if they got a second op either. Just like, oh, Simple, look, we found a toy for you. Go and wreck them, please. Hiko, I don't think it's going to work out for him, though. Yeah, easy shot for Chris. Now they know where he's playing from, but now it comes down to whether Liquid want to risk more of their economy hunting because they really don't have much to fall back on right now. So, to be frank, I think overextending for the hunt would be a bit of a mistake for Liquid.
Yeah, maybe, but on the other hand, they know Mousesports don't have either. So, even if they give up all the rifles, they know. I mean, we've seen, especially on this map, how the sort of the single hero op can really make a difference. So, considering how far ahead they are and the fact that they just gifted themselves a 14th round, yeah, it's not an easy calculation to make, but I might have tried to do the same in this position.
Well, there's the timeout getting called by Mousesports. They're allowed to have 1 2-minute timeout per map. Regardless of half, regardless of side, right, you're allowed to call 1 timeout. So Mousesports are realizing they're getting a bit close to the edge here, and they might have already gone over it because they don't have any economy to fall back on. As you guys could see before we went to the player shot, most of them are sitting around $2,000. There's only Nex with any kind of bank. So really you're trying to think, all right, what are we going to do, not in this round, but in the round after this one, really, when we might be able to cobble together some kind of buy and try and take the fight to Liquid when they're on 14 rounds, because right now, Liquid, they're sitting at 13 rounds. They're right on the edge. They've got to be feeling pretty good about it. So far, things have been working for them as well for Liquid. I mean, they win the pistol. They've put a lot of action towards B, but they still have the option to fall back to A. Nico and Mousesports aren't going to have too much info to go off of over there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this though: if you are a fan of Mousesports, if your name happens to be Yanko and you're watching, I wouldn't get too worried.
Yanko watching?
I think he is. Maybe he's got his, his eyes up in front. You just walk, trying to peek for his own fingers. But I wouldn't be too worried. We still have Mirage coming up, and nearest I remember, Mousesports are a pretty good team on that map. So I don't think it's all over and done with just because they lose Cobblestone. But certainly Liquid are looking in really good form right now. The fact that Nitro and Simple are playing as well as they are is a bit of a sign that that they might be in good shape here. And again, I think this is one of those maps where Hiko's, because we touched on this yesterday, I don't think Hiko's skills are particularly applicable to this map. He's still going to be decent with the rifle and everything, but there are not that many mind games that can easily be played on this map, neither on T or CT side.
Yeah, exactly right, because of these Cobblestone. It is forever going to be a thorn in our side, it seems. They have recently added the stairs to Plateau, just to give some options. Doesn't really feel like a big one, though, seeing as how you can kind of negate that with a single Molotov. But
no, but that is actually in not that we have to have a huge discussion on that, especially as we're going live in 4 seconds again.
Sure.
But it's good. You should never. I don't think you should make massive changes to maps if you are trying to sort of change it. If you make small changes and see what happens, but if you make big ones, it's almost impossible to track what the consequences anyway. So I kind of like the fact that they sort of slowly see what happens. I like that approach. Right, so it's pistols all around for Mousesports. We've always talked about this, whether it's a good idea to take sort of timeouts into an eco round, because you're probably going to get trucked anyway, and maybe that will mean people forget what you just talked about in the timeout. But they're doing a pretty good job, and Speedy got a taser kill on Nico. I absolutely love it. And now Nico and Next, they're the only two left. They do have an AK, but still, great round so far.
That was literally it. They took that tactical timeout to figure out where would Speedy be the most effective with his taser. And he could just tase Hiko.
It's fantastic.
I hate that thing with the burning passion, man. You have no idea. I mean, you actually do have an idea, which is why you keep saying, oh, I love the taser, because you know that I'm like twitching next to you when you say it.
It does increase my love for it, I'm not gonna lie. That definitely is one of the factors anyway. There are other ones too. Simple going to be taking down Nex, and now it's just Nico left. Trying to see if he can get some exit frags, and a good headshot there. Not quite followed up, but that's still a terrific round overall. Yeah, I think the other thing that I love about the taser is just the absurdity of imagining a taser that you can crank up so high that it just straight kills people, It's not like paralyzing them or anything.
No, it actually just fries you from the inside out like you touched a high voltage line.
Let me introduce you to my pocket Tesla coil. So 14 rounds for Liquid, 7 for Mousesports, and this game seems to be going only one way, and it's the American way.
It is, the only way, Andrews.
The only way.
For a long time now.
See, I would agree, and you say that jokingly, but I would agree. Chris going to be moving up here, and he's got the AWP lined up. He's flashed. That looked like it should have been a shot. And oh no, Chris going to get run down. Next playing close, and that's a good defense set up between Dennis and Next. So far, they need a bit more. JDM is somehow still alive, and now Next is in a bit of an awkward position, but he still picks up another kill. Simple and JDM are left. It's a 2-on-3, and now a 1-on-3 for Simple, and it's just too much for him to handle. Next with a great triple kill, and a lot of credit to him. That's not so easy playing so close to the wall like that, but he did a pretty good job. 14-8, and the money not quite there for Liquid.
That is one of the most agonizing sort of things to watch, though, is when a terrorist team is trying to charge off a plateau and they don't actually manage to get anybody off of the plateau. And then it just turns, you feel like you're at a fair and you're literally watching those little rubber duckies kind of like dance around, and you've got the kids that are just there shooting them, right? It's the exact same thing, right? Because all you're doing is you're just standing there. JDM is trying to find a pick with the op, but if the CT side aren't really giving him anything to work with, it's just so hard to get space after that. It's just nasty to watch, really. So they get bogged down. Mousesports, though, win a key round, and that puts Liquid onto an eco round. So
have the kids shooting the ducks?
Absolutely.
They're
trying to win the stuffed animals,
give weapons
man.
to children. So
they're not like actual weapons, and like they're.
You have to specify that.
Okay, so fine. They're like the air rifles. They shoot little pellets.
All right.
They might break the skin.
It's getting worried. if you end up babysitting Walter one day, you never know what happens. Chris,
bring him up the American way.
that was a nice shot from Simple, but it doesn't really matter ultimately. Still, it's going to be him left on a 1-on-3. The bomb is down, but I don't think he can actually stop this. He's going to run through the fire, it seems, and just charge out of there with the AWP. So, I mean, that might have actually been a pretty good choice, but Speedy's already out hunting for him. The bomb is obviously going to get defused here. So, I mean, 2 kills, bomb part, and a stolen AWP that he's going to survive with as well. So, yeah, I think that might have been a big success, actually, for Liquid.
That was a fantastic success, getting a bomb plant out of that situation, especially when you were already losing, you were dropping teammates left and right at the beginning of that round, and now all of a sudden you've managed to hold on to an AWP for JDM, so that means that he doesn't really need to just crack his bank. He might actually have enough money for another AWP here if things progress past these next couple of rounds for Liquid. I mean, this is very solid. That actually gives some longevity here to the economy for Liquid, because now JDM actually has some room to work with. 14-9 though, and Liquid, I mean, they've hit B a lot so far this half, so still waiting to see if they're going to try and change up the game plan, if they start actually applying some pressure towards that A site, because right now, because of this tendency that they've shown so far to hit nothing but B, Mousesports at the beginning of the round, they're just putting 4 players over here. They're just waiting. There's been a lot of early round kind of aggression coming out from Liquid, and Mousesports are more than happy to try and stack the odds in their favor.
Well, I kind of understand it. It does almost feel like if you're this far ahead on rounds as Liquid are, you know that you just kind of can keep going B, because it's like a lottery. You know, if you get the first kill on drop or on plateau, then, you know, 80% of the time you win the round, because it's just so hard for the CT side to hold on after that. So maybe they're just sort of playing the odds here and trying to see if they can make that work. I think, yeah, so we've got the nip smokes being set up here in towards the bomb site. The bomb is over there by Nitro, and Nico once again sneaking in, just like last time, and the first time he did it, it was JDM taken out as well. Next, gonna pick up 1 kill there on Nitro, and now it's a great start here for Mousesports, getting all the trades they need.
Well, that's perfect. It's as good as it gets. And you're right, it's exactly the same scenario. Once again, Nico, not challenged at A, works his way back into the halls and picks off JDM. And from there, Liquid then have to worry about their flanks. They're worried about Nico pushing into the halls behind them. It all devolves from that point forward. Once again, Nico gets the key frag that completely wrecks the offense. That's 2 rounds running, well, not running, but that's 2 rounds so far this half that he's just done fantastic work. And this adjustment coming up from Mousesports, they're really seeing that Liquid are kind of lacking in depth on the offensive side here. They're not really going over and applying a lot of pressure towards A. They aren't really opening up those halls before they start congregating towards B. It's a lot of actually just go and set up in the B halls, sit and wait. But you're really just hoping that Nico isn't going to hamstring you the entire time you're doing that. He's done it twice now.
Well, it seems like it's going to be a fast round coming out here. We've got 3 Tech-9s, so already you might have been thinking that anyway. They line up for Nico, and he only gets the 2 kills in there. Could have been a 3rd one, I think. Chris somehow missing a shot, and that's a little bit scary. Gets wall banging onto Hiko, and now Chris going to be able to clean up the round. So they lose 2, which is not that depressing for Mousesports. I think they'll be all right anyway. But they're up to 11-14 here, and I think not yet, but it's not far off that Liquid are going to start to think, oh no.
I think they're thinking, oh no, right now, man.
Because I don't want to bring up past history, but there has been a few times where Liquid have done this to themselves,
yes,
and to their fans.
Yes. Tell me more, Anders.
Where they have won the map, except for the last 2 rounds that is sort of, get your ass somewhere, and then they don't.
They don't do it. They actually get up to 15 rounds and then proceed to make it as agonizingly painful for their fans as possible.
Yeah, some of the most patient fans in Counter-Strike have to be Liquid fans, you must imagine. They are going to try and see if they can fake their way onto the B-bomb side, but in reality, this is an A-push, so you were talking about the sort of tactical depth here, but they're doing a pretty good job right now. Hiko in the middle, controlling that. They need to take care of Nico, though. He's still on the site, and that is one dangerous player to have left. We'll see if he can stop their plans. It's a 3-on-3, but he's already buying some good time here with the smoke and hiding right at the edge. They can't really make it onto the site just yet. Finally, they're going to try and move up, and Dennis goes down. Nico, this might be all on him. The Molotov keeping him in. He can't see the bomb going down either, but he knows exactly where it's going to be planted. Sneaking in from behind was Chris. We're leaving it all on Nico, and he gets the first one in. Still another 2 to go. The Molotov, no, it goes the wrong way. Hiko would have been forced out if it had been behind the truck, and look at this position. How could he possibly know where anyone is coming from? JDM is somewhere in middle, sneaking around, and Hiko behind the truck, and that's going to be the kill. 15 rounds for Liquid, and just a great strat being pulled out here towards the end.
That all worked out so nicely. I mean, obviously the big fake, and it almost feels like a pocket strat that Liquid were just waiting to pull out at some point, because it wasn't just random, it wasn't just chaos. They clearly set it up step by step. You draw the attention towards plateau, then it works its way out through drop, and then, you know, the push begins towards A. It's all very nicely put together. Unfortunately, I feel like if Nico had just had a rifle to work with there, it would have been end game, like end days. He just had the AWP to work with, unfortunately for him, and so he couldn't challenge as aggressively as he might have liked. But to me, the key is just, you know, get that connector control, and that's where Liquid and Hiko, he's going to excel. He's up there with the mind games, basically, Hiko. He is so on point when it comes to figuring out where people are coming from.
Well, could have maybe been a kill there, but Nico going to be falling back. They've got the double AWP in play. Nitro getting legged, but he's still alive. Goes for the peek again. And the flashbang, actually, Nitro was flashed, but he still picks up that shot. Dennis now trying to move out here. 4 members left for Mousesports, and they need this win. They are fighting for overtime at the moment. Bomb is going to go down on Nitro there. So now 3 versus 5, and it's looking very bad for Mousesports. They need to find a way in somehow. Dennis confused, and the Smokey goes down. Hiko with a triple, and Liquid with a 16-11 finish over Mousesports on Cobblestone. And look at that hug there. That duo has been united